Good afternoon, chat. How is it going? Can y'all hear me? Yo, hello everybody. Exactly. I finally got the music to work, methinks. Listen to this. What's up, Sparman? How's it going? Wiz the Invader? Missed the last stream because you were stuck at work? Well, yeah, you can catch this one. Hey. Hey, exactly. You guys like my little frog? Look at him. Blowing around and stuff. All right. Whop. Back to Minecraft. Volume up. We can slowly fade this out. What's up? That frog's tough. Thanks! I animated him myself. I drew him. A little fella. Big frog at it again. Giant frog. So for those of you who were not able to join yesterday, this is the little thing we're working on. Little guy. Yoop. Little green glowing face guy. And then his brain. His brain is behind. Did you animate it? Yes, I did. I use Krita. Or not Krita. I used to use Krita. I use Clip Studio Paint. Like a little bit of Photoshop and then some Clip Studio Paint. I have no idea which mod I have that makes this little foggy stuff. It's kind of nice. Maybe it's particular that does it, but like sometimes there's a lot of foggy stuff that goes on the ground. That frog tough. Big frog at it again. Yippee! Says Sparvit. Thank you. Yeah, so we're just gonna continue working on this little fella down here. You know what? Since we got the music working, let me do a little something like this. Let's see. Volume alpha. We just play this. Womp. Let's see. Mice on Venus. My favorite song. Favorite song on Volume Alpha. Other than maybe, is Aria Math on here? No, it's not. Wait, isn't it supposed to be? I don't know. Can you guys hear it? It's very quiet. Wait, why is it so quiet? There we go. Yes. Mice on Venus. All right, well, you guys ready to get going on some building? Hopefully today I will get a little bit better at multitasking as well, because I didn't really get a lot done. Who put them on Venus, SMH? Exactly. So yesterday we were working on, look at these little guys go. We were working on these little pipes that move the copper golems around. Maybe put the settings on bright. Womp, womp. So yeah, I was having a little bit of an aneurysm trying to get these guys moving along, but I think I got it working. It's a little janky still, but it's pretty nice. So we got a bunch of, you know, adorable little golems, and they are all just flowing through on a loop as a little bit of decoration. So maybe I'll actually put some more in the tubes. You guys can hear it now. Okay, sweet. Let's see. Well, more to the pile. Sometimes they get stuck. Yeah, it's a little water slide. See, they're just having fun. There's no copper golems rights violations or anything like that going on here. No, sir. And we also, so we have this little guy, you know, like I said, like I showed off yesterday. I tweaked the brain a little bit. I replaced the purpur with cherry slabs. I think it looks way more like brain matter stuff, don't it? It's like pink and squishy. I think it looks pretty cool. Evol Beads has streamed 2 days in a row. I might be in heaven. Maybe! Or maybe you're in purgatory. You never know. Things get a little sinister over here. I wanted to watch the stream, but it's already midnight and I need sleep. Maybe next time I'll be like, ah, dang it. You can watch the replay too. Hopefully, if you want to enjoy. I'm trying to mess around with like the outside. So I like changed the glass color here. You can see, hold on. I'm just trying to live mix as I go. But I've yeah, changed the glass color so you can see them moving around here, which I think is pretty nice. I don't know if I'm completely sold with, I'm gonna, you know, add some other details and stuff on the outside, but I don't know exactly what I want to do with this whole thing. So that's what we're going to be kind of messing around with today. But isn't it so cool? Look at these guys. They're just kind of hanging out. Womp. We can do this. And this. Pink brains, exactly. Ooh, pink goop. Pink goop for real. Okay. Doing little something like this. And we are switching off with crimson and the warped stuff, because I think the red and teal switched off looks pretty nice. But I didn't even finish talking about the brain. So, you know, in case you haven't seen it, he's got his little, I don't know, tubes attached to his corneas in the back, and you can kind of come here and hang out when this gets put in the survival world. You know, like they'll have a nice view in here. But if we come around here, we have some rafters that go around. We come in here and we got a little guy. If you guys remember, so yesterday we were saying that maybe I should make like Plankton. Remember, you know that episode of SpongeBob where Plankton he sticks his little thing into SpongeBob's brain and he uses the levers to move it around. So we got a little frog. I think in the survival world I'll make him green, which I think would be lovely. Because then it would be like exactly like Plankton. But maybe this will be a little character. Who knows? He could have some dialogue soon. A storyline. All to himself, perhaps. Chilling inside the little brain. We'll always watch the replays. They keep me going in my forever world and stop me from burning out. Thank you for all the content you make. Thanks! It's so much fun making stuff for you guys, so I'm glad you like it. But yeah, so I just been messing around. It's nice to walk on these tubes as like little waterways. They got their bulbs going down. Isn't this so funny? Yeah, so I'm gonna be fiddling around with the interior and the exterior. Try to get it all kind of organized. Right now I'm taking this in like bite-sized chunks. I'm just working on this side for now because tomorrow I'm planning on working on this with some friends. I don't know if I'll stream it or not. Maybe I will, but we'll see. And then we also have this here. This is going to be like a little starter base for survival SMP that will be starting up soon. So I'm trying to prepare, get a little base planned out. So we got this funky little guy going. So maybe we'll work on this a little bit today too. But for now, we'll stay focused here. And this is a copper aging facility. So you kind of, I'll basically, I have these all spaced out because it takes, if there's 4 blocks in between 2 blocks of copper, then they age fast because the closer they are together, these two will like age super slow. So I kind of spread out whenever I need to age a bunch of like copper trinkets like trapdoors and this kind of stuff. I spread them all out all over my world, and it gets very messy whenever I need to gather a bunch of stuff. So this is the solution to that. I can basically just have stuff aging in here around the clock, and it'll be much nicer place for that to happen. Oh. And I kind of have a design, so like, since this is like high fae and like crimson wood stuff, it does not get mined quickly by a pickaxe. So when I'm running through with a pickaxe to mine up all this stuff, I won't be breaking any of these blocks. But this all just continues down all the way over here, and this is only like half of it. I think there'll be an even bigger facility underground in this area. I have to kind of be a little careful because this is where the underground wheat field is that I made last episode, and it's gonna, I don't want to obviously build underground into my stuff. So I'll have to see. I might have to copy over like a bigger section of my world to make sure I'm not trampling on any toes of the other build parts. But anyways, so that's what we got going on here today. So I'm just gonna get going, kind of building some stuff. Dax Fact says, "Oh, junior high school." You say that because of the plankton thing. Remembering that old episode of SpongeBob? Because if so, that is facts. Froggy. Exactly. Now, I always reach a point in interiors where I'm like, how the fuck do I decorate the rest of this? And then I inevitably just grab paintings and start placing them on the walls. Which actually might help. Like, because, so, you know, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do here. Because these walls are thin. They're only 1 wide. And I'll have some texturing and stuff on the outside. But I probably don't want to change too much of the blocks. I don't think this texturing is done. I'm not like in love with it. I do like using the chisel blocks a lot. They look so, I don't know, just like funky and weird. I really like them, but I don't know if I'm in love with this pattern of using them yet. So do something like this. I love the coral, using the dead coral blocks. It is sweet. Okay. Yeah, we come through here so we can see. The brainstem has a little lantern hanging off of it. Because right now this won't be the main entrance. Swirly twirly tough blocks, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure there'll be like some main entrance in this big section of the build, but for now this kind of winds its way up, and we're greeted by the brain. We kind of walk on the pipe, and the way to get around, it's like a little, you kind of got to jump all over the place. You can get up on these rafters, come around here. I'm trying to see, did I set up anything where you can actually, I'm trying to connect all the floors. We need to get down here somewhere, because getting down here means we can get down to this layer. Because this is where, oh wait, this layer. This is where the bubble column comes up. Because if I jump down here, and in the water, but then I want to come back up, got a bubble column. So we need more twisting vines, and I also need to cover up these little clocks. because I have these pistons that push the copper golems into the bubble column. Because it's a little awkward trying to get them to go in. Yeah, they kind of get a little jumbled up, but then they get through eventually, so it's fine. Yeah, I'll live with it. But yeah, so coming up here, there isn't. I like using the twisting vines. They're very nice. Instead of using a ladder or something like that. So, where can we put the next one? This works. And a little cap on it. Delightful. We come down here. And I wonder, this is 1 block thick? Yeah. Okay. I always want to use the chisel blocks, but they feel so awkward when I try it. Totally OSHA. This is OSHA approved. Don't worry. I make sure to union bust the copper golems as often as possible, so they haven't been able to organize and improve their their working conditions. This is how I normally like to use chiseled tough. Like, honestly, I love using like basalt pillars, and then if you smack it in the middle, it looks like a little like bracing on it, which I think looks super awesome. And then too, I think we'll come here. I have a little gradient set up, and chiseled tough is a little bit darker than normal tough. So like if you kind of zoom out, you can see, if you zoom out really far, it ends up slightly making the gradient a little bit darker. Maybe not from the top, but from the side. So that's a good way you can use it too if you're trying to make gradients. Like for example, if I was to like put it here, actually keep that. Yeah, it kind of connects up a little bit. That's nice. They're so green. Yeah. I like the, yeah, tough is a little green. But I really cool because it looks so much more unique than the other stone blocks, I think. Yeah, so that's kind of how I use it. Great to hear your process of how you want your builds to look. Thanks. Do you have any favorite builders you take inspiration from? You know, I wouldn't say one in particular. It's like a whole bunch, I would say, because I mostly try to take inspiration from like other, like, you know, Pinterest photos and like art inspiration, like really cool art that you see, because then you kind of end up trying to come up with some new ideas, and it feels like you're making new stuff. Because also too with this, like, you know, the feeling that I get from how this looks, like this doesn't even remind me of like something building wise. This kind of I don't know, this feels like Splatoon. So, you know, like how colorful Splatoon is, or just any like a lot of like early 2000s games like that. That's kind of the vibe, I guess, that sometimes it's nice to get inspiration from like other games. Yeah, Pinterest, that kind of stuff. But as for favorite builders, I mean, I feel like so many people's answer is B-dubs, B-double-O. I have always watched him for a long time. And I do like, I was talking about Etho a bit last episode, because Etho also has some really cool, he always does really cool, colorful builds like this. He uses a lot of like concrete and terracotta and anything. Anything inside the brain. Yes, look at this little guy. He's controlling it. He is the mastermind behind the operation. And yeah, so those are, and you know, I've watched like B-dubs and Etho and those guys for such a long time. But like recently, I've, you know, been able to meet a few other builders who are really awesome. Like Taco Squad, he makes some like stuff on cyberpunk stuff on Instagram. His cyberpunk builds are freaking amazing. So he's super cool. Really like Whip's world, because his world is just humongous. There's so much in there, and like it's so detailed, but it's so spread out. You know, it's a crazy survival hardcore world. So Whip's builds are awesome. You watched Joel Smallish Bean's last season of Hermitcraft. I feel like his super colorful stuff would align with what you're doing. I have not watched it, but maybe I'll check it out. I kind of tune in very sporadically to Hermitcraft stuff here and there. Like, mostly we'll just, I don't know, maybe watch like a Grian episode or something. Beans and apples are goated. Yes, they are. They're really good builders as well. Their videos are super cool. They're very nice as well. Very nice couple. Okay, let's keep going. Hopefully that was a good answer. Oh, also shout out to the last episode, like the Froglight episode that I made with the factory. That was inspired by Bars's hardcore series because he made a really cool like Soviet Ukraine post-industrial base on the roof of the Nether, and it looked awesome. So I literally like I found his channel through that. So go check that out because it was super cool, and I really like how that Froglight factory came out. But like I definitely made a little more cartoony and like my rendition of like post-industrial architecture. But yeah. So those are the builders that I've been watching recently. Oh, and who could forget? Who could freaking forget? Sinnoh. Sinnoh's awesome. Like Sinnoh literally kind of with how cinematic he makes his stuff, like kind of motivated me to just get back into Minecraft again and making videos, and that's kind of why I started making videos a few months ago. So yeah, Sinnoh is unmatched with his building style. His builds are awesome. Yeah, so those are the inspirations. He's live. I think Bars was live earlier today. He came in to hang out yesterday, so perhaps he'll join. See, writing this down. Yeah, take notes. But really, just yeah. I mean, it's watching YouTube and getting is a great place to get inspiration. There's a whole bunch of really cool freaking people making stuff. Okay. We're starting to fill some stuff out here. Oh, I meant you. Oh, that's funny. Little brain fart there. Thanks for joining. Let's see. We ever go live on Twitch? Perhaps. I'll take my time to expand. You know, like get other. Oh no! He's escaped. Everybody, shield your eyes. Yes, again. Oh. Oh, they don't take fall damage. Sorry, I had to track him down. Glad you could catch the stream. I'm glad you could catch the stream too. Thanks for showing up. Hi, guys, how does this look? This looks kind of cool, but the rest of this looks pretty messy. Maybe I'll do something like that. Something like that. Ooh, yes. Wait, that's actually pretty nice. Golem on the loose. Yeah, sorry guys. Golem down. Hit some buttons. It's going up in here. Is there workers' comp for this? I'm negotiating with their union right now, and it's not looking very favorable to them. So, most likely not. Yeah, let's put the... Will they come out if I... Oh, wait. I need to have it like this. Right. Maybe now... Oh, wait. Is there something I can put, like, in between the blocks? Wait, look at this. Am I a genius? Oh! Wait, it looks like a conveyor belt. Like it's passing through a conveyor belt. That's kind of sick. We use copper grills there. It's redstone after all. Yeah, you're right. And you know, I do love using copper stuff for redstone. I was kind of thinking like, do I really count this as like redstone because it's just a little clock? But maybe I could actually do something like this. Oh. Waxed. Wood. Hold on. Can I put normal redstone on a copper grate? Does that... Oh, yeah, that does work. Okay. How's that look? I don't hate it. I do not hate it. Oh! Okay. We have a casualty of our designs. That should work. Alright, much nicer. And then maybe I can get... Wait, can I get rid of this? Oh, shit. Meant to say those messed up. Yeah, no, they're great. Oh, yeah, because you said girls. Gotcha. By the way, do you have a Discord server? I do not. I don't know if I plan on making one. It seems like, you know, just an extra thing to deal with. And I'm not a huge Discord user. I'm in a little server with some other builders, which is fun. And some other YouTubers, but other than that, I don't really use it all that much. So I don't. Maybe that'll change in the future, but for now, I'll just focus on making videos and live streaming. I think that'll be fun. Cruel and unusual punishment. Yeah, yeah. There's Geneva Convention level level punishments, level war crimes going on here, unfortunately. But it's okay because nobody's gonna prosecute me for it. Ooh. Wait. Wait. Ooh, how about that? Oh, wait, not that. That looks nice. Wait, maybe there's some more glass. Discord terrifying. Yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I'm like, what if some mean people join? You know? Then I gotta deal with that? Like, who knows? I think there are people that are much more Discord savvy that run fun servers, but that is not me. Who knows? Maybe one of these days. Okay, I think I'll keep it like this. I'm also procrastinating on making my own Discord server. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to start. So, it's chill for now. Okay. Maybe we can move on over here. Let's grab some of these. I'm glad I'm actually getting into some... Feels like I'm getting into some real building now. Because yesterday I just spent 2 hours trying to get these freaking tubes to work. But now that they're done, the real work can start. Okay. Let's clean this up a little bit. Oh. Nice. The tubes and doohickeys are definitely not OSHA compliant. Yeah, but whenever the OSHA inspector comes, he mysteriously disappears. I don't know why. It's very strange. But he always ends up disappearing. Weird, your video production is next level, and the little storyline is a really strong way to keep it engaging. I think a lot of creators are missing out on that opportunity. Congrats, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to... I think I've stumbled upon something a little bit special, which is which I'm glad you guys like it because it is super fun. And I have a lot of fun making it. Grab some copper trapdoors in place of the glass. Sorry, I don't want to mess up your creative flow. No. Do not worry about messing up. I'm live streaming so you guys can send ideas and stuff. Yeah, I might use copper trap. Like I like using the oxidized ones for this build because they kind of match the warped. Maybe we can use, because I do like this state. Let me sprinkle those in. Actually, I normally like to build in this state, but I think that because this build is so colorful, the pure green, pretty nice. And yeah, and for those of you guys who don't know, I usually try to build redstone stuff on copper, like unwaxed copper. and then kind of incorporate it into the build, like, so something like this, right? Like, this is my storage unit. I have like little spots here for copper golems to organize all my stuff. They're obviously not here because it's the creative copy. So I wanted to keep all this intact, and like all the redstone and everything. These are like the tubes that the items flow through. Keep all the redstone and everything somewhat accessible. So like, you know, I have doors here and I can come back here and it's all there. And it feels way more like, I don't know, it just feels a lot nicer. It feels like I'm not trying to hide anything, because I kind of got sick of having a build and then if you break a block and go behind it, like it's just all the redstone on some ugly stone. So this is kind of the new method I've been trying to use. And I think it looks nicest with the mushroom cave I made, if any of you guys have seen that episode. It's like a mushroom stem farm. It's where Gunk and Gizmo live. I really like how it turned out there, because I kind of I'll use the oxidized stuff like as decoration, but then there's kind of like hard transitions to like wax copper that looks like it's clean and maintained, but then the outside is decaying as if like the inside of the machine is like, you know, the Gunk and Gizmo are keeping it nice and tidy, which I think is cool. Character arc, avoiding a lawsuit. Yep. The thing is, they can sue me, but can they catch me? Sometimes I'm too fast. Why is there a little gangsta in the tube? Is he meant to go there? Oh, there's a lot of little gangstas in here. It's purely for decoration. And maybe lore implications. I think in the lore, this might be where all the copper golems are manufactured, you know? For all the ones that I use in like my storage unit and everything. Look at this. I really like this. That you can kind of see them just through the twisting vines. Very nice. All right, this is a big empty wall here, so we can do something fun here. I think we should have little platforms. Let's see how we do something like this. Oh. Oh, not like that. Is this where Gunk puts the people who beat him in blackjack? Not to spoil anything lore-wise, but there is a sinister place that Gunk puts his ops. That may or may not be part of a grander storyline. But you guys are gonna have to wait to see. Gotta have catwalks in the factory. Yeah! True, I love using trapdoors for like catwalks and that kind of stuff. So let's actually do ooh, maybe use prismarine walls. Oh wait, prismarine would look really nice in here. Okay. Well, I want to make some hanging, like from the ceiling, maybe. What if we do this? Okay, hold on. I want to take a look at what I made over here. I really like this thing I got going on. Okay, it's just stripped wood and like shelves and a grindstone. So let me use something like this. What if I do crimson shelves? If we have a support for a catwalk, maybe we do this and something like this. Gunk and Frump are my favorite characters. Gunk and Frump would be very delighted to hear you say that. No love for Frink? I'm curious. What one? How did Frump win over your heart, whereas Frink did not? After all, Frump is a creep and a pervert. Love the way you texture your builds. Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of it's an evolving process, I'd say. Ooh, this looks cool. Wait, maybe there's a better mechanical thing to be hanging from here, though. That doesn't look bad. No siree. That's why that he's a creep and a pervert. I knew that he would perhaps gain some fans by just being honest. That's really funny. Thanks. Me and my buddies have fun writing these little whimsical fellas. I'm just making some bullshit on a stick right here is what I'm doing. Oh. Blast furnace. How's this? I should maybe be using some, like, factory reference, perhaps. In my estimation, he's got the stronger farting pipes. Yeah, his braps were louder. They echoed. But also he is in a larger space. But they do run in the family. Okay, this is starting to come... Something's coming together here. Which characters did you voice, and what characters aren't voiced by you? A good question. So my friends voice Gunk and Gizmo and Frink and Frump, and Overseer Wallace. I got a few buddies that kind of switch off and they do multiple voices, and I voice Ooze, I voice Trumpet, and I voice Drugenheim. Those are the little fellas that I voiced so far. That'll you know, obviously be expanded. We'll always be adding more little guys. This hanging doohickey brought to you by the same guys who made the honey block with the stick next to some sea pickles. Exactly. Wait, speaking of honey block, maybe we add a honey block with the stick in here too. Maybe I need to make that a staple of a lot of... Yes. Yes. Wait, fuck. Hold on. Nice. Just some doodads. And you know what? I think I'm not going to use any golem statues. Because this place... Wait, actually... Wait, using them like terracotta warriors would actually look pretty nice. As if it's like a conveyor belt. Wait. Wait a second! What looks like a conveyor belt? Oakwood. I feel like this looks like asphalt somehow. Like a signature. You should definitely add one of Gunk's past hookups. Well, he's if you remember, he's married. So he's not a fella you should be looking up to, because he suspected his wife of cheating, as if it's the end of the world. Yet he's no better himself. Dried kelp. Ooh, good idea. Maybe we have... something like this. I can cook up... Because you know what I want to do? Like, because we got these tubes. But there's more ways that I can add a cool... Oh, okay. Alright, guys. Guys, look at this. This is going to be freaking sick. See. We're going to have a little thing that sticks out this way. You know, just something like this. And then if we have the dried kelp here, and then it's going all the way out here. And we do black concrete, so it looks like a... Oh. Black concrete here. Actually, maybe I'll use the stripped. Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna use more bamboo blocks. I really like the alive bamboo blocks. They're nice. And then we put a banner here. Or like, do it like that. Wait, let's do a warped slab. And then there's a banner. And then banner here. And maybe some basalt to like brace this. Okay. So here's our conveyor belt. And they're like, see what I'm doing here? They're like going from out of here, like, and into there. You know, and they're passing by the banners. Do something like this. How often are you planning to upload? I love your builds. You know, I upload as soon as I get every video done. So, and they usually take around 3 weeks to make, sometimes a little longer. Yeah, I feel like I'm liking how this looks. Because I want to also have minecart rails where like golems and minecarts are roaming around. So like having this like tubes, rails, and these little conveyor belts, that'd be sick. I think it needs a bulb. Like a redstone torch. Saying that it's on. Maybe we do like an item frame. What can I put in the item frame? Nah. Interesting. Interesting. It doesn't light the... Wait a second. Redstone. Oh. Torch. That looks funky. Well. Grindstones for the wheels of the conveyor belt with trapdoors on top, perhaps. Oh, smart. Wait. Very smart. I might have to look up a picture of a conveyor belt. We might have to look at some reference. But like, maybe something like... Oh. I'm cooking here! Wait a second. Wait just a second. This is not terrible. You ever want to change building styles? Maybe somewhere else in your world to make different stuff? Yes. I'm definitely going to want to expand to like cooler new areas. I think I want to keep everything somewhat close by so you can still kind of see big builds from other big builds. Because I think that... I used to, I'd always make my survival worlds just kind of making everything super far away. So you just go in the nether. And I think that's kind of... Or I do want to change that. But the reason why I'm sticking to my main base for so long is because it's so unfinished. And it's such a... To me, it's such a big project. I want to really spend some time to finish it up before moving on. So I'll be in my main base for the foreseeable future until I feel like it's like in a solid state to kind of leave it behind, you know? Item frame with a redstone block in it. Good idea. Maybe we do something kind of like... Okay. I'm not hating that. Oh, this looks really cool. Yeah, that's nice. I agree. Maybe I put some stairs a certain way. Prismarine. I normally only use dark prismarine. I use a lot of dark prismarine for like roofs and everything. But I think this is a good build to use some normal prismarine. Oh, no. Expand the city, just go out from the main base. Yes. Yeah, my current I guess like to put a little bit of like a limitation on myself. I have like some city walls. Like temporary walls. Let's see if I even have them copied over. There was some like here that I'm gonna slowly get rid of them. But like, yeah, okay. So like over on this side, like way long ago, like when I was just kind of playing on this world for fun here and there, I set up like a little wall just to keep all the mobs out. And so my goal is to try to build up everything inside this wall first, like focus on that. And then also like this area out here, like here's where the wheat field used to be. This is kind of like the forest, you know, if you're in my survival world, and then like the gnome house is over there. I am gonna build like a custom forest. I do want to put that there. And so once I get those done, and also the giant floating island, this thing is going to take forever. Once I get those things done, I'll definitely expand the city outwards. There's a swamp, like kind of over this way. I do eventually want to make like a swamp town, something that looks kind of like Lake Town from The Hobbit. I think would be super cool. But you know, big plans. Just got to take it one at a time, you know. Prismarine walls would look nice here. This is starting, guys. This is starting to look very whimsical, if I do say so myself. If I do freaking say so myself. Okay, let me look up a conveyor belt real quick. Hold on. Let's go to Pinterest. See if I can't find something. Let's type in conveyor belt. Fantasy Factory conveyor belt. Will that come up with anything? Steampunk. Steampunk conveyor belt. That's a good... Hopefully that comes up with something. Can't find any saved pins. Well, I don't need saved pins. Interesting. I'm just seeing stuff with a lot of wheels. I see a Minecraft steampunk pipes thing. Oh, you know what? These actually look kind of cool. Okay, hold on. I actually should add some stuff like that. Here's the pipe. Here's the pipe thing I just saw. It's literally just. Let's see. Let's put something here. We like do this, and then. Oh wait, not crimson warp. And trapdoors. Trapdoors. This is kind of what they had going on. They're just putting bracings around it, and it looks like a pipe. Cool. Copper trapdoors, I think, would look better. Those steampunks do like their wheels and such. Yes, they do. They truly do. Just their gizmos and gadgets. Where sometimes there is no business having gizmos and gadgets. That looks nice. Just having little doohickeys like this, I think will really sell the build. And maybe a cauldron. Cauldron here. Some signs. Plus particles from campfires. Yeah, good idea. You're full of good ideas, Sparman. Yeah, I do love putting like a campfire on a grate. And like so it looks like there's steam coming out of the grate. The grate build tip. You should make someone like in charge of the factory and call him Gadget. Gadget's a nice name. Wait, maybe this fellow will be named Gadget. Up here. The man in charge. Not a bad idea at all. I still haven't come up with names for the new characters that I'll be introducing, but rest assured, there will be new guys. Let's put another bulb in here. Oh, wait, actually, I think it's nice to leave it a little dark. Nah, that's the inspector's name. Yeah. I named the fishmongers, by the way. They didn't have names, but like when I made the you know, the last episode and everybody got sick, I had to name them all Dinnerbone to flip them upside down. But I don't think you can unname I don't think you can unname a mob. So I had to name them something. So I named the one up top Gilbert and the one down below Gottfried. So we'll be hearing more from them sometime in the future. Gonna be lurking here as I start working on finally another building instead of focusing my everything on a mega structure of a tower. Yeah, if you get stuck on one build for too long, I don't like that feeling, you know? As I get older, I feel like I'm just in the era of my life where when I'm working on a project, I would rather just like simplify things and get it done and move on, other than like letting it drag out. Because I used to always be such a perfectionist for a lot of stuff. And it really can like hinder your creative output if you're too much of a perfectionist, you know, like you end up never getting anything done, which I think can be really demotivating. So that's my little tips for if you do anything creative. Sometimes it's good to figure out, how do I get across the finish line more often, you know? Because it is a skill to be able to like say something's done and be happy with it and move on and then learn from it if you know, maybe don't like something. But that's just my 2 cents. Do something like this. Ooh. If you get another happy gas, call him tuba or trombone. Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, maybe I'll start. You know what I want to do? I need to have some little characters. I saw this trick on Instagram. Hold on. Okay, so here's what I saw on Instagram. Was like, oh wait, just this? Okay, isn't this adorable? Like the dried gas are carrying some lanterns. But what if we do? This is genius right here. What if we do? They're transporting the golems. Oh my god. This is the greatest idea I've ever had. And the bulbs go. Wait, this is awesome. Oh my god. That's so cute. It's worse that I build on solely survival for some quality life stuff. Luckily, I'm in the final phase of this tower, but aiming to make a place for villagers to live. Nice. Yeah, and I also got, I feel like I'd stopped playing on this world for a long time because I would have these big builds that I want to make, and building in survival is tough, especially if you're making something big without a plan. So, but after I started creative planning like this, like, I end up having so much more bandwidth to, you know, because you can experiment and be as creative as you want, like when you're planning and creative, and then it just becomes a much more streamlined process to like use Lightmatica and copy it over. And it just, I feel like I've improved as a builder so much. And now I know a lot of builders are like maybe getting some Lightmatica fatigue and wanting to maybe get away from using it as much. But I am not one of those. I am having so much fun using Lightmatica in creative planning stuff. Awesome. I don't like these buttons. Third one should be lower, like it's going under the pipe. Yeah, wait. You mean, let's see. Third one should be lower, like it's going under the pipe. Like one of these? Yeah, maybe. I think actually it is getting a little dense in here too. Let's have some more up here because there's a lot of empty space right in here at the moment. So maybe just fiddling around with some stuff. Maybe we put a dried ghast here. Like he's going, like they're going into the other side of the factory, perchance. It's gonna be a little annoying collecting these dried gas. I might need to reset some chunks in my nether because I have to go really far away in the nether to find like chunks that have happy gas in them because I made this world a long time ago. If I say how I plan my stuff out, it'll sound like a nightmare for you all, but say that the style I tend to build is basically an eco-brutalism design, and all that with liminal vibes. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a really cool build style. Like, because I guess, like, there was, like, a solar punk trend, you know, like, I get, like, kind of doing cyberpunk stuff, but instead of, like, dystopian cyberpunk, it's, like, environmental, right? Like, that was the idea with solar punk. So that's what that kind of sounds like, but in a cool, yeah, like, a cool, like, brutalist way. It sounds like I'd be really curious to see what that looks like. That sounds awesome. You can barter for happy gas. Oh, like piglin bartering. That's right. I need to set up a piglin bartering thing. I've like literally never messed around with piglins at all, so that is definitely on the to-do list. Look at these little guys. Maybe I'll get rid of this one. Just having a couple fellas. That is so. This is awesome. I don't know about you. I freaking love this. Yeah, that's nice. That's very nice. Okay. Crimson trapdoors. Dried gas can be crafted. Oh, shoot. I did not know that. Let's see. Dried gas crafting recipe. Gas tiers and bone blocks. Oh, wait, that's awesome. Thanks. Now I can now feel free to build with as many dried gas as I want. Because I can just hunt gas for tiers. That shouldn't be too hard. My main block of making my madness is deep slate, as on the inside is either liminal spaces, offices, hopefully soon pool rooms with quartz as well, and dark prismarine for pool floors. Nice. You know what's funny? Right after I built this, I was like, this kind of looks like a liminal space a little bit. Like how, like the repeating texture of this and all that. But yeah, that sounds awesome. It's cool that people are starting to make more like liminal stuff in Minecraft. There's like an ARG style like horror video that I was watching of like this Minecraft horror dealio. I forgot what it was called. But they do like very interesting liminal builds, but like not in like a way where it's like, oh, it's recreating. One second, I'm drinking my water. It's not in a way where it's just trying to recreate the backgrounds. It's like trying to make liminal spaces like in a way that like I don't know, it looks like Minecraft, like I don't know, just like builds that look like they could have been some like, you know, built on a server a long time ago, but now they're abandoned, you know, because that kind of holds a little bit of a different feel than just like a real world liminal space. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that I wish I remember the name of it. Piglins can give you what's that called? Wait. Did you just hear a chicken? What? Now I'm freaking myself out. Did you guys hear a chicken die a second ago? Maybe I'm going insane. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, whatever that cool ARG was, it was like a 2-video series on YouTube. Searching for a world that doesn't exist. Yes, that's what it was. Like I feel like the builds in that look, yeah, like weirdly like liminal in just in a very cool way, and they're pretty unsettling, which I thought was cool. Like there should be people there, and now there is no one. Like abandoned MMORPGs. Yeah. Also know the Wonderland ARG liminal space mod. Chicken haunting. I know that I'm being haunted by chickens. Should these guys be doing different poses? I kind of like the way they look like that. Like they're just fully on the line. Yeah, wait. Okay, that sells it. That sells it when like one's in there. It's looking very cramped and cluttered in here, but I don't mind because when you're standing here, you can look up and see all the stuff inside. It's pretty nice. Ah, my speakers suck. I didn't hear it. Yeah, I have no idea. Maybe I just... These are making funny noises when I step on it. Chicken ARG. I love that one. Peak Minecraft. One gas picked up and dropped a chicken by accident. Yeah. What if they... You know what? You know it'd be cool if they add more... I want them to add more statues. Like things like the copper golems. Like imagine like a little iron golem statue or something. Like something along those lines. I think that'd be super cool. Or like a new... Like some... I really like stuff like that. Could be... Oh. Why are you flapping? Boom, boom, boo, doo, doo. I like the uniform look too before they go into the next bit of this machine to give them... Yeah. Yeah, it's like they're being... Maybe like the process is that they're made oxidized or something out of like recycled copper. And then once they get carried away by the gas. And then they get waxed and brought back to life and then they have to go in the tubes. That's the manufacturing process. Maybe some oh wait, no. I want to put this on Prismarine. Right now I'm planning out this villager utopia that totally isn't going to be based on Soviet apartment buildings. It's where all the villagers have were hired and not forced into my concrete halls. Looks like we have the same sort of villager rights violations going on in our world. I've been using hanging signs a lot. I feel like I missed so many of the recent like Minecraft updates. So when I started playing again a few months ago, there's so many blocks that I get to mess around with. And it's so lovely. Yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. Maybe a shelf to hide the piston. I'm just freewheeling a lot of this. Hard to it's a little tough to improve in interiors. I feel like you have to use more sometimes you have to use more like Minecraft reference than like normal art. Because sometimes like how are you gonna find art that like fits this interior space that you gotta fill up? It's a little tricky. So sometimes I just try to be as creative as I can, adding little details. Can you move a statue with slime fly machine? Ooh, that would be cool. Um, that might be a little bit past my redstone expertise. Can I actually move a statue with a piston? I am. Let's see, wait. Can I do it with like a sticky piston? Because that actually gives me a really cool idea. Let's see. Nah, it breaks it. Dang it. Dang it. That'd be really cool. I was thinking that like maybe I can move some statues back and forth with pistons. But alas, Mojang hates me. Sure, I have a working iron farm that works in peaceful and have like 20-ish villagers running it, but they volunteered, I swear. Yeah, and they also love being in one by one confined spaces with 40 other villagers. Hmm. I like these signs. I'm not liking how this is. It looks interesting. Whatever this doohickey is. This is a real doohickey if I've ever seen one. A little grindstone. Yeah, it makes them feel safe. Exactly. Something like that. That's not bad, actually. I think the same thing with putting pistons on the conveyor belt to give the illusion of movement. Yeah. Maybe I can have pistons firing something back. Can I move a grindstone with a piston? That's the next question. No. Man. R.I.P. What else to put here? Another tube, maybe? Doohickey confirmed. Oh, real. How does something like this look? Not bad. Not bad. Maybe I have the same thing over here. Try having a piston pushing a slime bot. Oh, genius. So many smart cookies in my chat. How do you all do it? I'll make it float. No, dang it. Make sure you wax the signs or they might. Yeah, you know what? I am really bad about that. Let's see if yeah, I definitely need to be more diligent about that because there are a lot of signs that I don't have waxed. I wonder if these will show up as wax signs in the Lightmatica. Wax, like a wax sign isn't an object. It's just a state of the sign. I think that they're actually going to update. I heard some rumblings that in an update, maybe it's like the autumn update or the next one, they're gonna change signs from entities to blocks, I believe. Don't quote me on it though, because I don't know for sure. I just heard some people talking about it. All right. This is starting to look pretty nice. Pretty nice if I do say so myself. What does waxing a sign do? Some sometime along the lines they updated it so that you can like after you place a sign, you can still edit the text. Because it used to be that you place a sign and like when you place it, you have to write out what's on the sign, and then once it's done, you can't edit it. But then they made signs editable. But if you wax a sign, it's no longer editable. But that's also what makes it less laggy because you know it's no longer like processing the sign as like some sort of dynamic thing, you know. Gotta learn to wax signs if you're joining an SMP. You are true, but the SMP is only for a month, so we won't be able to build stuff that's too crazy. And that's probably why, like, I don't really have much interest in joining one. Otherwise, because I do want to focus on my survival world, but there's some really cool people on this one. Um, and it sounded really fun, and so I can do it for just a month, and I'll make sure to live stream it. So that's why I'm kind of getting the hang of this whole live streaming thing, so we can make some fun streams for you guys. This is starting to come together. You know, I should look into using copper for filling empty spaces within builds instead of cobble. Yeah, and oh wait, is this wax? No. Yeah, I really like, yeah, filling stuff, especially redstone stuff. But also for like filling out like empty spaces. Like I don't know if you use Axiom to terraform stuff, but I find that there ends up being a lot of wait, let me make sure it's not playing copyright stuff. All right, I'm gonna pause the music because it's still playing C418 stuff, but no, I don't want it to be. You know what? Let's put on some freaking ooze. But yeah, I started making sure to be a little more diligent about filling stuff up with smooth stone, because I have so much smooth stone everywhere that it's helped, because I'm pretty bad about, like, when I terraform, then I put it in with Lightmatica, like into my survival world. There's so many spaces where like mobs spawn because it's dark and like little holes and stuff. But it is what it is. I'm starting to get better at it. Pesby Cash, hey, howdy, hey, glad to be able to make it to the stream. Glad to have you here. If you haven't checked it out, this song is called Moonlight. It was the last song I made for the last episode. And I think it's a little bit of a dancing tune, if I do say so myself. I started to make rafters and then I'm very ADHD when it's when it comes to building interiors. I kind of go all over the place. So many creatures in your world. Mob sounds aren't that out of place, TBH. Oh, you mean like the chicken? The phantom chicken? Yeah, I do like filling up. And you know, part of the reasoning too is it's obviously like makes your world a lot more fun to have like a bit of a story to it. Like everybody wants to add a story. And you know what I kind of realized? I was like, man, I see a lot of people, like they'll build something and then they just kind of tell you the story of like, here's what the people here did. But that was also like a little bit of a starting point for the idea to have like actual characters and scenes. Because then I'm not like telling you what happens, I'm showing you what happens. But like actual characters, you know. For real, as a composer, Ooze is really, really good music, dude. Thank you. And you know, it kind of does go into that same little philosophy I was talking about a little bit earlier of like, I have so much music saved up that, you know, hopefully I'll get around to releasing. But I'm very precious about a lot of my music, and I'll sit on it for a really long time. And I kind of got sick of that. I'm like, why the fuck am I just sitting on it and not like showing anybody? So with Ooze, I was like, yeah, all right, every video, as you know, as often as I can, I'm gonna try to make a song, and then like just get a good idea for a song, and then just finish it. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. It's been paying off, and so hopefully there'll be a lot more Ooze stuff to come. You know what? I'm gonna play Yellow Eyes in the background, and then I have a little sneak peek of the next Ooze song that I was cooking up today. It's very rough, but you guys get a sneak peek. It's just like an instrumental, but it'll be for the next episode. So you guys, I can see what you guys think. Get a live audience reaction. Environmental storytelling also helps with that, but obviously that's harder in Minecraft than game development and stuff. Yeah, one thing that's a little tough to get around is like getting the mobs to act a certain way. Because the mobs just want to like walk around and do whatever, obviously. It's a little hard to get like good camera angles. Behind the scenes, exactly. What in the world is this thing even? Why does this remind me of a fish? This looks like a swordfish. Weird, what's the fart joke in your next video gonna be? Can you give us a little taste, please? You know, you're just gonna have to see. Luke Pajari. Yellow Eyes is such a banger. Thanks! I done made it myself. A pulley. Oh, I got rid of it, but it does look like a pulley. Maybe I do this. Eh. Aha! Now it actually connects. Do a pulley thing somehow. You guys like this part? Did you go to school for music? It sounds really good, especially if you don't have much music knowledge. No, I didn't go to school for it, but I have been making music for a long time, like since I was a kid. I started messing around in Reaper was the first DAW that I used. But in school, because I did like a film program at my school, and so I would just make music for all my friends' films, and write stuff. So that's kind of how I learned it. Thoughts on having statues on top getting dropped down down a bottom water stream to close the loop. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like these gas are maybe dropping them into a little water tube. You know what? Let's do that. Let's add this little detail. I think we can do that here. Let's see. Let's get rid of one of these guys. The mood and vibe of your world makes me think of the now older, I think, ARG. Aspicio Omnium. A mix of like funny but not too serious, but really good world building. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I have to check it out. I have not heard of it. Maybe here's what our little water pipe should be that it's gonna get dropped into. Let's see. Water bucket. Maybe like this. Perhaps like this. This is where they enter the tube. So then we can have a waxed copper golem statue like this. He's sitting in it. He's sitting down, but he's about to be dropped in. He's about to be sucked into the water tube. This is how they get in there. And then let's add our little ghast. Maybe I need to make a wait. Folks, I just had another stroke of genius. Do something like this. Oh wait, shit. This is in the way. Okay, but all right. When they pass through here, they get waxed, or they get stripped, or whatever. You know what I mean? That's okay. That's a beautiful little detail. How can I get the banner in here? How can I get something in there? Let's just do it like this. Prismarine. That? I see the vision. Yes. Something like this. Oh, water. Okay. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Okay. I said I'd give you a sneak peek. Let me pull it up. One sec. Hold on. Let me switch to the frog for just a moment. We're on the frog, but don't fret, because I just need to pull up something on my screen. Okay, back from the frog. Just didn't want to dox any sensitive information. Okay. Here we go. Oh. Here's a very rough little instrumental that I'll just leave playing in the background. Of the next Ooze song. See how you guys like it. Wait, let me turn my sound up. Yeah. It's gonna just loop for a while, so it'll be some nice background music for a little bit. While I continue building. Is lime a good... Maybe we have like a ink banner. You're doing what to the... Yeah, they're stripping right in front of me. Another OSHA violation. What if we have brewing stand? Like that? And the synths come back in. You know what song I kind of took a little inspiration from with this was Bittersweet by Billie Eilish. It's a great song. There will be lyrics at some point, but I have not come up with any yet. Can you change their pose? That's also a good idea. Maybe they're like sitting down. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Oh, that's not this. Hey, here's the drop. Yeah. We're grooving. Ooze is cooking. Just feeling some Tame Impala vibes. Yeah, I like Tame Impala. Bringing some guitars in, you know? It's like repairing them too, yeah. Maybe they're all like... Maybe something like that. Fire, thanks. If you ever want anything like a movie score and don't want to do it, I'm down if you have Instagram or something. Ah, thanks for the offer, but I do like making it myself. So it makes it fun, you know. Let's see. There it is. Some fun synthy stuff. That song might be called Subliminal. Who knows? But yeah, so that'll be for the next video. You guys got a exclusive little sneak peek. Isn't that fun? Hey, you know that Tame Impala is just one guy? Dude. What the heck? Yeah, that bass. I've been having a lot of fun making groovy bass lines recently. It's been super fun. Look at this. They got bulbs. They got lanterns for heads. Wait, could I actually do... Oh, I can't just place it on top. That's fire, gangsta. Thanks! Yep, so that'll be the next one. Now I just gotta come up with some lyrics. So, who knows? Maybe I'll be writing about OSHA violations. Can we cover this up? The question I'm asking now. Better for the next vid, but take your time. Thanks. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it is nice. Like, sometimes I stress myself out because I'm like, I don't want to be irrelevant. I don't want to wait too long. But also, I want to make quality stuff for you guys. So, but I think streaming. Now that I'm streaming, it's gonna help ease my stresses because I can show you guys the process, and it feels less like I'm going dark for a few weeks. You know. Well, you go in the column. Yeah, let's make sure they're not all clumped up somewhere, which I think is good. Need it released now. It will be soon. Very soon, I promise. And I think with Ooze stuff, I'll just kind of put it up on Spotify as soon as I finish it. OSHA violations from the workers' POV or from the company? Maybe both. Maybe it'll be an exploration of the effects of workplace violations. From both the employer and the worker. That's the last stream, but are you thinking about putting the lyrics up on Spotify? Yes, actually, I have everything up on Spotify, or I have everything. So, one second, I'm drinking some water. I have submitted everything through Spotify, and it's like through DistroKid, and it's all approved. But for some reason, it takes like extra time. I keep checking the Spotify, and there's the lyrics aren't up, but eventually it will have like the synced lyrics, you know, where it like kind of plays through the lyrics as it goes through the song. Which that will be. I just have no idea why it's taken so long. It's been like weeks. But yeah, should be soon. Should be very soon. But also, here's a little plug. Let me pull it up. If you want to, you can go. I'm just pulling up a tab real quick. Oh, okay. If you look, oh, 1 second. Big tab. If you go on my YouTube, if you look at my playlists, there's a playlist for Ooz's Laboratory, and then you can find little things that I have posted with the little graphics that I made, and then the lyrics are here, and also in case you don't know, on wait, can I view? How do I view my page? Second, I have no idea how Patreon works sometimes. Oh God, oh man. So embarrassing. Okay. Wait. Is this hold on. Anyways, I'm taking too long to figure this out. Oh wait, actually I can go hit a link real quick. On my Patreon I have a bunch of music stuff up for free. So anybody can use them if they want. Oh, I'm playing my video. 1 second. And oh wait, what the heck? I don't know how. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Sorry for the wait. Ooz's Laboratory. This is where I put a bunch of extra goodies. It's all for free. And I also have lyrics up here. And I have a little time lapse of. Oh, sorry, that was really loud. Here's a little time lapse of me, animating like the little frog stuff. And then I have a bunch of stems with, like split apart stems. I have like alternate versions that I use to like score the videos. And this is also the music from like the intro of, I'll like compose a separate little track for like the intro of each video. So all that's there if you want to check it out. So lots of fun stuff. I want Ooz's music to be out there for everybody. Use your Patreon to give out your builds, right? Some guy at Reddit was asking for a world download of one of mine. Is it bad that I don't like giving mine away? Yeah, I mean, it's whatever you want to do. I don't give mine away for free. Just because I want to have a little something that, if you want to support the channel and you want to check out the world downloads and schematics and stuff, I have that behind a paywall. So that's like $5 on the Patreon. But since I already have that behind a paywall, I was like, you know what? Music stuff, that can be free. Because I like the idea of just being able to share my music, and I'm not like, I don't know, I'm not like a stickler for copyright or any of that stuff. I think people should be able to listen to it and use it in their videos and do whatever. I think it's fun. Man, I'm having a lot of trouble finding a job at the moment, so money is tight, but as soon as I'm... Yeah, no. Of course. Only for those who have the means and feel like it's somebody they want to support, But I appreciate that. I need a dip gangsta. This was really cool. Gotta lock in with my trumpet now. Oh, nice. Good luck with your trumpet. Hopefully it's not as rude to you as my trumpet is. I got some mini trumpets over here. Maybe I should sell them, perhaps. Yeah. I don't know if you use if you're like an Instagram builder or like whatever. Like there's always avenues to set up a little online shop. It's fun, and also YouTube monetization can get a little tricky sometimes. I literally have, you guys want to know it's such bullshit. So wait, why am I trying to find this? So usually video game music is obviously like not I don't even want to do this. It's usually obviously not copyrighted in the sense. I mean, it's obviously copyrighted, but it's usually not. It usually has some sort of universal license to for like YouTube. If you like doing a let's play or something and it's your own gameplay, you're allowed to obviously like post and monetize gameplay, because like a lot of people post let's plays of that kind of stuff, and it would kind of fuck up the whole like let's play or like gaming economy or whatever if like they would try to clap you for having video game music in your videos. That's why a lot of like video game music is usually really good to use as like background for video essays or whatever, because it's usually pretty stress-free in terms of copyright. But my last video, the Froglight video, got claimed by a guy who ripped some like there's these like third party scammers. Like, so if any of you guys like upload videos, you got to watch out for them. But these like third party scam websites will try to claim music that's not theirs. And it's really annoying because YouTube does kind of favor companies because we, capitalism and all that. But like they kind of favor like these big companies that want to copyright strike your videos. But like there's a lot of companies that are scams that'll try to claim music that they don't own. If that ever happens, if it's like if somebody claims your stuff, Google it to see if there's I hate those guys. Yeah. Google it to see if other people on like Reddit or something have also been scammed by them, because then you'll know for sure. It's like, oh yeah, they don't have rights to this. Also, because if you like I got claimed once for a track that I downloaded from Pixabay, which is like a free royalty free site. And so I just disputed it and appealed it by copying the license straight from their website and saying, hey, this third party doesn't actually have the rights to it. And then, the appeal goes through. YouTube tries to make it very scary. They try to say, oh, if you're wrong about this appeal, then you're going to have your channel deleted. And so, just make sure you're like being careful about that. Like make sure it's not actually something copyrighted. Otherwise you might have to like delete that section or re-upload it. But anyways, there was a guy on the last video. I only use my music, and then I use like 1 or 2 Minecraft tracks, like C418 tracks. And this guy, this like third party like scam thing, whatever, they just uploaded C418's music with a little bit of reverb, like extra reverb onto Spotify. And he tried to like name it as like his own thing. And then he tried to claim my video saying that I used his music when it was C418's music. So I disputed it, and then they just haven't done anything. So it's probably just a bot farm thing, a scam thing that's gonna there's like a 30-day period for those disputes to go through, and they're probably just not going to do anything for the 30 days. But then at the end of the 30 days it'll be fine, and I believe I should get the like monetization money back from whatever they tried to scam me out of. Sometimes it's just kind of lost, which really sucks. Yeah, AI third-party bots have been hurting a lot of creators who don't have the means to fight back. Yeah, and it sucks because YouTube makes it seem so scary. Like they make it seem like you're in the wrong for wanting to appeal a scammer, because there's that little like there's that little thought in your mind where you're like, oh shoot, what if I did do something wrong? And so oftentimes they just kind of scare content creators into not doing anything, or maybe they take their video down and they lose all the momentum. But you can, if you just take a little time, really go back and research, like find where you found the music, where you downloaded it, look at their licensing. Yeah, it is scary submitting a dispute. They make it very scary. They make it very scary. But as long as you have it backed up, at least in my, now this isn't legal advice, so take everything with a grain of salt. But it's smart to go and find the licenses that they have posted for their like royalty free music and copy that, put links to it in a dispute. A dispute is fine, actually. Like it's the appeal that's scary. But you can dispute because a dispute just sends it to the third party, like the copyright claimant, and for them to review. And so most likely if it's a scammer, they're just going to deny it because they're trying to scam you anyway. So why would they be like, oh, sorry, I tried to scam you? Appealing is when it goes to YouTube's level. And that's where, it gets scary. But if it's very obviously a scammer, you should, look up more people talking about how they deal with it, and all that. So that's my 2 cents. But that's also why I'm just like, I'm just gonna make my own fucking music for these videos, because I don't want to get some bullshit claim. And I'm sure they'll try to claim my music too, but What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? People have been doing that with Akira Yamaoka's music recently, uploading covers to Spotify and such as Silent Hill tracks, and it's really upsetting. Yeah, and it's one thing to like upload a cover or whatever, or like I'm assuming that these guys aren't actually making covers; they're just ripping the tracks and adding some like effects on it or whatever. Um, yeah, it really sucks. It's really annoying, but you know, you just gotta find your own way. YouTube's own music, like the YouTube, I do recommend using that's usually what I'd use if I need royalty free tracks. Obviously I don't really use them anymore since starting this little ooze project, but YouTube has more safeguards to not let third parties obviously like try to claim YouTube creator music. Been looking to making music, but I kind of suck at the main part for melodies. IDK how people do it. It's reps. You just got to do it a lot, and you got to make a lot of stuff that sucks. But every time you make something that sucks, next time you're gonna make something a little bit better. And then the real fun part is when you start making stuff that you enjoy. That's when it gets really fun. Because sometimes I'll make some music, and then I'll just have it on a little Google Drive. I'll listen to it in the car. I'm like, I like it. This is fun. I really like this. Yeah, so that's when it gets fun. But it's just like any other art thing, don't let yourself be like, oh, I want to do this, but I suck at it. Everybody sucks, especially when they start, and then they get better. So that's how that goes. That's my wisdom of the day. Weird's wisdom of the day. Maybe that should be a recurring segment. Okay, I need to get this stuff connected, methinks. Because there's still no way to get up here. So this is like kind of the platform I have. I should fill this up with some trapdoors. Oh wait, I don't want to use the waxed, oxidized trapdoors. There we go. So we got a little bit of extra stand-in room. Just for this section. Oh, let's do a little atmosphere check. Ooh, nice and gloomy in here. So yeah, this is usually how I make my builds. I don't use shaders or anything because I like to be very intentional with like the lighting. Because most of the time I just like to use shadows to fill out the boring sections, like the corners and stuff. So I might actually like with here, make it a wee bit darker, and then we got like the copper golems, like their eyes are glowing. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, so I use this light overlay just to make sure that like mobs can't spawn. But see, doesn't that look cool? There's like water dripping. This is a fun vibe. Let me see if I have. Oh, I'll put friendly mobs up so we can hear the golem sounds. Yeah, so you fall down here. You know what? I want to change this glass to lime. So maybe... So we have this lime on the outside, but then when we go in, it's like dotted a little bit. I think that looks cool. I'm so blind and I can't build at night with Moody. You know what? Same. I usually just switch. Honestly, most of the time, I have, a lot of natural light in my room. So during the day, it's like almost impossible to see sometimes with Moody lighting on. So I'll end up switching to bright, but then I'll switch back to Moody when I record to keep that vibe. Or if I'm playing at night. But like, look, doesn't this looks awesome. I really like the eyes glowing. I think it's a really cool little detail. Little conveyor belt. Ooh, yes. Okay. That looks nice. But yeah, I'll switch back to bright so I can actually freaking see. Them changing what light level mobs spawn on was such a win for ambiance. Oh yeah, I wasn't actually... I don't even know if I was necessarily aware of them. Because yeah, as long as it's not light level, 0 or whatever, or 1, then mobs won't spawn. I didn't know they changed that. That's pretty cool, because I only really started paying attention to that fairly recently. Bow, 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 bow. Alright. Should I maybe... I feel like I want a another bubble column here. Yeah. I might need to move the block of honey with a stick. Let's do this. Nice. Used to be had to be light level 7 for mobs not to spawn. Yeah, and that's so high. Like, light level 7 is... Like... This is light level 7, so anything lower than that, like, mobs would spawn all up on here. Yeah. Glad they changed it. Alright, what if we have bubble column coming here? Here's what I'm thinking. Bubble column in glass. Glass tubes. We do panes. Torch like every 4 bucks. Yeah, yeah. And actually, that's one thing I do want to do in my survival world is like there are some areas, especially because I have the big floating island deal, like up here. Like the area under it is so dark that I just have torch spam. And I hate torches. I don't want a single torch. Like I don't ever place torches for like things I consider finished. I just don't like how they look, and it's nicer to use obviously like more creative building lights, but I definitely need to go through and get rid of those and replace them with like, I don't know, frog lights and moss carpet or something. That'd be nice. I gotta dip and seek some grub. Thanks for streaming again, Weird. The build is coming along great. Thanks for joining. Have some good grub. I hope it is delicious. I had some Hoko Ichibanya today. And it was lovely. Some Japanese curry. I had a chicken cutlet. I'm salivating over just thinking about it, and I just ate it. Except I ordered garlic naan. Cheesy garlic naan. And they didn't put any cheese or garlic on it. And I was so sad. But it's okay. I live to see another day. Let's see. Mojang cooking with the frog lights and lanterns. Yeah, dude, after making that frog light factory, I freaking love frog lights so much. New favorite lamp for sure. Because I really liked shroom light when they added them. But now I look at... it's like, here's the... I'm going to show you guys a little history lesson, all right? Here is the lifespan of fancy lights, all right? You first load up the game, all right? Especially once they added item frames. Or no, actually, yeah. So obviously, there's torches, right? Basic stuff. Everybody uses torches for everything. And then you're like, you know what? I'm going to the nether and I'm getting some fancy glowstone. And look at how fancy all my builds look. I use glowstone for everything. And then you get a little sick of glowstone. You're like, you know what? I have glowstone everywhere. I'm kind of getting tired of it. And then you put a little lamp. Bump. Oh. Then you start getting redstone lamps. And then you put them in everything. And you make little light switches so you can turn your lights on and off. Then you have a grand old time. But then you realize, you know what? I'm kind of sick of how these lamps look. And then they added shroom light. I built with shroom light for so often. Especially shroom lights and the lanterns. When they added lanterns. Oh. I was obsessed. But yes, they are so freaking orange. And I feel like I loved shroom light so much that I got sick of shroom light even faster. And now they have glorious frog light. Whoa! Jesus Christ! What the fuck? That just jump scared the shit out of me. What the heck is that even? What is that even under? Joke blocks new. I'm sweating now. Why you gotta do that to me? Somebody's playing Drake really loudly outside. Yeah, these peak candles. I'm never building with anything ever again. Like, look at this stuff. Freaking lovely. Who can go wrong? Back when glowstone and redstone lanterns were the bomb. Yeah. Old school Minecraft days. Second live jump scare of the day. First was the dead chicken, and then the fucking achievement. I don't know how loud it was for you guys, but it was deafening for me. Oh! Okay. I like that. Little tube. I think it looks nice. Maybe we do something like this. Ooh. Ooh, don't mind if I do. Okay. So we walk up here. We walk over some of these little golems. Okay, wait, where do I go from? Okay, we go up here. And we can go up into this little guy. That's lovely. We come down here. We see some of these guys. Okay, and now I can't get over here. So maybe we can do... Ocean lanterns lamps are underrated in my opinion. Oh, yeah. I forgot about sea lanterns. Yeah, you're right. Sea lanterns are nice. I have like a prismarine farm, so I have a ton of prismarine. So I end up using sea lanterns when I need a lot of light blocks for some sort of something or other. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Wait, I don't want the weathered. I want oxidized. Now that's really starting to come out. A little you go by and you give this fellow a little kiss on the toes on the way down. And then you can go down here. Nice. You watch this guy be thrown around. Now, I want to cover up this. What's a nice transparent block? Or not transparent, but with that fluorescent glow like being in a grocery store. Yeah, I feel like a lot of the liminal, like backroom style builds, they use them sea lanterns. I don't hate that. These walls are looking very bare, though. What can we do to fix it? Because down here, the plain blackstone actually looks pretty nice. Then all the colorful stuff stands out. What else is like blackstone, but still has a little bit of texture? What is this? No. A little too dark. What's another block that's similar to blackstone? I guess just more more blackstone. Maybe. I kind of just like the bricks. Might just keep the bricks. We're doohickey maxing with whatever this stuff is. Crimson stuff. Slabs. Get some of this going. Not bad. You know what's kind of funny? When little redstone things inadvertently make shelves change texture like this, I kind of don't mind. Like, there's a spot in my copper golem sorter that when it starts spitting out yeah, OSHA violation maxing. When it starts spitting out items, it will just rapid fire make that noise where like the shelf is changing color or changing texture. But it's kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes it feel like there's more doohickeys and doodads firing every which way. So I do not mind it. Hot take. Looks kind of cool. It looks like another piece of the contraption. Wait, if I put slabs here. Oh, look at that. The golems still won't be able to leave, but we can watch them. Wait, that's awesome. That's so cool. Maybe. We have... No. Hey, get in there. Why are you dilly-dallying? Did I break it? Maybe he just needs another guy to push him along. Oh! Okay, yep, there we go. No. Let's see. Let's... Oh! Wait! No escaping. Let's see. I don't hate this. It also looks quite nice. Now, how do we get down? I mean, we can just fall down, but I feel like we should have some sort of... Maybe we have a magma... Or not a magma thing, but we fall down here into a pool, mayhaps? Water bucket. Very nice. Yeah. I'm content with that. How do we want to... Interesting. I'm really locking in now. If you can't tell. It's locking in hours. I want... Guess there's more empty space here. We can put... Let's see. Can we get some rails going? With little copper golems floating on by. How does that work? Oh, wait, maybe I just have one back there. That should be enough. Little track. And then maybe this guy is One of the oxidized fellows. We get some oxidized. And then carved. Oh, why is this so funny? Look at him go. I don't know why that made me laugh so hard. Freaking epic. To have. Let's have a little. Maybe we put slabs up. Some slabs. Little guy factory. Yeah, we're making little fellas. We love making little fellas. Warped stuff. Oh. It's slowing him down a little bit. The slabs, I think. That's okay. Yeah. A cauldron, maybe. Looks pretty industrial. Alright, I'll leave this little fella like this for now. I think that'd be good. I do kind of want to go up and work on the dome. The big dome. Or I guess it's not a dome. It's a square. Can you put a bunch of high-speed rails on it and make him go Mach 5? Would that hurt him? What if I create a particle accelerator? and and I have one golem be thrust through the accelerator and turned into dust. And then we put them back together again, and we do it over and over. What would you have to say about that? What does OSHA have to say about that? I'll keep this. Yeah, so what are we gonna do on this on the outside? I want to frame. I'm thinking I don't know if I want to frame it with anything. I kind of like the glass going through the corners, but let's actually we can finish up the roof. The science exists. We can rebuild him. I do some of this and some of that. How would you guys feel if we killed Gizmo, canonically? Would the community be in shambles? Would anybody miss him? I think a lot of people would. Now, what if we kill Gizmo, but then we bring him back to life? Many such questions. What are the tubes for again? Absolutely nothing. Just so little guys can flow through for decoration. They just kind of, you know. And then there's this little fella. Let me actually look at what the view looks like looking down. I can kind of see all this stuff. It does feel like you're descending deeper and deeper into the layers of hell. There you go here. No, leave him alone. Keep Gizmo. Don't worry. Gizmo's safe. For now. I could never kill Gizmo. My precious little guy. But if somebody else were to kill Gizmo, that may be out of my hands. Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with all of you. Do a little bit of this. I think the lore idea for this is like when we're talking about the new characters we'll make. It's obviously gonna, this face is gonna be something fancier. But I was thinking, you guys remember in Ben 10 when there's in the Ben 10 Alien Force? You guys remember that show? When he's like a teenager or whatever? Um they had that, what was it, like Alien X? He would go and see the two giant alien faces in like the void. That's kind of the vibe I'm going for with these two faces here. Maybe they'll be like an old married couple or something. But then I think that all the with either this face or that face, they'll kind of have a copper golem style, or like a hive mind for all these copper golems. That might be fun. Baller show, not gonna lie, yeah, Ben 10 is fucking rad. But because we have Gunk and Gizmo, right? And they're, Gunk is this wait, he's exposed. Gunk is this state, and Gizmo's this state. So I don't necessarily want to repeat different characters that look the same. I know I've repeated Iron Golems, but because they only have one texture. But I'm thinking that whenever a Copper Golem is completely waxed, maybe they're part of maybe it's just one character that's part of this hive mind. And they're all very upset at me. Because great Gyatso. They're all very upset at me because I have of all my work violations. What's up? Building and streaming. Semicolon. Capital D. Making a whimsical little factory. Many pipes and trinkets. Yeah, so that might be the direction I go for with this story. Yo. He got a big brain. There's a frog inside. Controlling him. Like plankton. Thanks! Live chat reaction. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was talking about the lore. So yeah, so that might be. Let's lock back in. We're locking back in on the roof. Oh. It kind of looks like he's wearing a little hat. Wouldn't you say? Little face, little hat. Kind of nice. Kind of nice, one could say. Will there be like serious main plot? I like the way the story right now. It's pretty chill, but with the hint of dark backstory stuff. Yeah, there's always the fear that if it gets a little too intense, that like newer viewers might be scared off. You know what I mean? That being said, I do want to have bigger story arcs and everything. And I also don't want to, like, when there's a big story arc, have like the thing where it's like Oh well, remember when you did this? Remember where you had to do like a bunch of callbacks to like explain what happened? So keeping it simple, I like the idea of having a simple story arc that could be done, in a very short, but kind of spreading it out so you get time to like have other, I don't know, just kind of like hang out with other characters. Most of the scenes are just jokes, just funny little jokes that I kind of me and my friends will come up with, and then um but then it hints at like a little bit of a grander story. So like characters will keep coming back, but we'll see how much it evolves. Who knows? Maybe eventually people will want it to be like a real like TV show style series where it's more cinematic, I guess. I would definitely be down to do that. It just takes more time. So I like still having gameplay be the focus, or building. I think this is kind of good for the roof. I'll do at least the roof kind of matches our style we got with our other stuff. Because otherwise this build is a very big departure. But with adding more of this colored glass, like fun factory, colorful stuff, it will give me a lot more opportunities to make cool things. Because eventually, I want to actually build Ooze's laboratory and give him a proper building, instead of his little hole in the sewers. So hopefully that answers your question pretty well. I love this mod that has the splashes when they splash down. It looks so nice. Okay, do I want to add any bracing here? How would I brace this? Like some sort of trim? Because there's not a shelf block that's gray. I would love a gray wood. That's what I would like. That's what I want them to add. Like one that like when it's, because obviously like pale oak is gray and acacia when they have bark. But when it's stripped, I want some gray wood. Ooh, please do a skylight in the roof. It would look sick. That is a great idea, actually. Looking down into the brain. That's nice. Okay, yeah, let's do some lime glass. Maybe what if we do this? Make it a little bigger. Oh, right, the poplar wood. Is that actually gray though? Because I remember it looked a little bit like. Hopefully they make it a little more gray. I remember it kind of looked like pale oak to me. Oh yeah, it's a little more gray. Um, interesting. I'm excited for the new wood types that they're adding. It should be fun. I think you've been keeping the balance well. It feels like something is building up in the backstory wise, but the builds and world are the main draw, so you don't feel lost by the story bits. Yeah, thanks. That's kind of the vibe that I'm going for. You get little hints of lore and backstory here and there, and it is building up to like, you know, some bigger story arcs, but I want to keep it accessible. I think because if an episode is like me building this giant cool factory, you're watching the episode and I'm building the factory. So you're gonna get that. But as you're watching, if you see little fun little goofs and gas with characters, and you're like, have these characters been in here before? Then it might make you want to go back and watch some more of the previous stuff and piece the story together. That I think is a fun approach. Um, so it kind of, I guess the story is what you make of it. How's that for a skylight? That looks nice. I think that looks pretty sick. Maybe we make it blue? Blue glass? Look forward to everything you make, man. I'm so hyped. Thanks. That's awesome. I'm glad you look forward to this stuff. I think that looks pretty good. Feeling a little quiet. I'll turn up the music a little bit for when it adds. When it flows, and I was playing music off a C418 playlist, but then I think I'm scared Spotify's gonna start playing other copyrighted stuff. You know what we could... Hold up. You know what we should start bumping? Y'all fuck with Aria Math? One of the greatest songs. Yeah, I get excited because I'm like, hell yeah, awesome build. What's he gonna tell me about the lore? Yeah. Good. Good. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Nobody does it like C418. Wait, what is this song? I hear it so often. It's called Aria Math by C418. It is a great song. Or a piece, I should say. I guess it's not a song since it doesn't have lyrics, but... Track. Great track. I typed in track instead of trapdoor. How's this look? Dum, 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 dum. Alright. Yeah, you're welcome. Try using lightning rods too to frame the skylight. Also a good idea. I need to add little balloons that have like little air balloons in my world that have little lightning rods that keep the lightning from striking any wood areas, because I've had some roofs burned down, which is really sad. Boom, boom. Dun, dun, dun. The melody comes in at this part, and it is so peak. I'm looking at my stream, and I have a huge delay. It's strange. Oh, you're not being pushy at all. Don't worry about it. Do not worry. I love hearing people's build ideas. It is so much fun. Dun, dun, dun. Krog. Oh, I can change bitrate. Let's see. Let's see. Stream status, excellent. You know what? It seems like for some reason, the how long have you been building seriously? Oh, a few, super seriously, only a few months. Like since I started the channel, I started taking building a lot more seriously. But I built all these things, like these buildings were literally built like 4 years ago. I just been playing Minecraft forever and like always building, but I didn't take it seriously until recently. Starting to do the YouTube thing. Oh, shoot, turn this off. Whatever copyright stuff this is. Um, yeah, and you know what? I think chat's actually not as delayed as I thought it was. For some reason on my end, I'm watching the stream and it looks far more delayed than it actually is. So hopefully I'm not responding to your questions like 5 minutes after you ask them. All right, this is looking pretty good. Maybe we copy this. I think we're gonna want to copy and mirror this little section. I might be getting. I don't want to get the little redstone bits caught up in there. How is this symmetrical? Okay, it's even numbers. So where's that's the middle seam. Okay, so it's, yeah. All right. Perfect. Copy like this. Put it down. Bring it around. How does it line up? Where does it line up? Like that? Wait. Like that. Wait. Fuck. Trying to make sure it's what? Be symmetrical. Okay, yeah, there we go. That lines up. That's good. We can copy some of this over. And some of this and that. This is a funny blend of like, I don't know, somewhat gothic, maybe, architecture, and then the whimsical factory stuff, but I do kind of like it. It's fun. Where do you take the inspiration for your style? You know, a whole lot of places, I'd say. I was talking about it a little bit earlier today. A lot of the times I find Pinterest images. Yeah, where do you get inspiration or references from? Yeah, a lot of Pinterest. I try to browse ArtStation because then it's I can actually give credit to the authors because it's usually the authors themselves that are posting it as opposed to people ripping stuff on Pinterest. But pretty difficult. But ArtStation just has nowhere near like Pinterest recommends you so many cool things. Like when you find a post you like, it shows you so many posts that are similar. You can go down really cool rabbit holes and find really cool inspiration stuff. So yeah, you'll probably hear that a lot of builders use Pinterest. And it's because it's when you get better at filtering out all the AI bullshit that Pinterest has, because it does have a lot of AI art. Most of it's flagged, but then you just gotta kind of use your judgment for whatever the rest is. But once you start like telling Pinterest, hey, I'm not interested in this or whatever, your feed starts to improve a bit, which is nice. Makes it a bit nicer. Yeah, a lot of the builds I make are inspired or from some sort of art from Pinterest reference. Except for, you know, the Froglight Factory wasn't actually. That was like a bajillion different other factories I've seen in Minecraft, and some like hobbled together Pinterest like, you know, industrial looking stuff, and I just kind of combined it all to a big hulking massive a factory. That one was fun. But yeah, this one, the shape of this is, and this one here are pulled from Pinterest stuff. I can actually show you real quick. 1 second. 1 second. Just pulling something up. Okay. Oh, my Explorer, my file Explorer is being super slow. Uh-oh, don't crash. Okay. We're good. Here's the reference that I am using for this. And you'll find that it looks very different, obviously. But like you can see the main shape is there with the you know, there's like this big bulb thing and the two faces, big archway, and then all this stuff. So yeah, I am adopting that for this shape, but then obviously I'm taking a lot of creative liberty to go inside here and make it this big colorful factory with all this shit going on. But I think it's super fun. And then over here will be for a little SMP base, little starter base. That is taken from this inspiration. You can kind of see how it lines up. So yeah, it's always fun trying to figure out how to represent stuff in Minecraft. And like I was having fun with this one too. Let me do that. If you'll notice, like in here, see how the artist uses like a lot of pure black to have a lot of negative space, like in it really adds like a lot of cool depth and contrast, and like highlights the actual shape of it because you can kind of tell where the shadows are underneath. I thought that looked super cool, so I wanted to try to mess around with that in this one. You notice here it's like there's black concrete as the backdrop, but then there's kind of some planks of wood going over it, and then this is so dark that when you zoom out far enough, it just kind of looks black. So that's kind of fun because it makes it look a little more intentional, a little less cluttered, and very cartoony. It's super fun. I really like this build so far. Amazing stuff. Thank you. Yeah, we can close this. I don't need to use it. Did I turn music back on? Yes, I did. I'm to lock back in yet again. Our little guy. Ooh, looking at this again, I really love the bamboo texture. I need to use it more. You know what? I think I actually don't like these item frames. Probably, this is supposed to be a floor where you actually age some of the copper, but probably not actually even going to end up using this. The way you get down, like through there. Come up around this corner. Okay, so that's nice. All right. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. Gadget, whatever his name is, maybe Gadget. I love watching these little guys keep going. Okay, back to this. Maybe some blackstone slabs. What if there's like a cool... This almost feels like a very old... Maybe this will be the lore. All right, I'm developing it in my head. Maybe this is like some really old, you know, old school Gothic tower. And then it's like renovated you know, renovated to become a factory. Um, I think that's pretty. That would be a pretty cool story. Methinks. Is this building going to be a farm or just decoration? So it's actually going to be um my copper aging facility. So if you come down here, we have some copper, like a copper lantern or something. We got to age up a lot of it, so, and they got to all be 4 blocks apart. So I'll end up, you know, placing it all like this, right? And then I go, once all that's full, go down to this one, place it all here, then fill all of it up, and then let it all age. So it'll age the fastest because they're all spaced out. And then, you know, you come mine it up and replace it. So that'll always have some stuff aging. I use a lot of aged copper and it's very annoying. So yeah, the facility kind of comes down here. And then when you go up, that's where, up here is where we have all the fun decoration stuff and this brain in the guy's head. So yeah, lore-wise, this will be where like all of our copper golems are made, but obviously you don't really need a factory to make copper golems because you can just build them. So yeah, so that's the lore. Lore and functionality. It's always a fun balance to have. Oh. How's everybody in chat doing? You fellas enjoying the more chill vibe? We're chatting a little bit earlier, but kind of been locking in, so a little quieter. So let me know if you guys don't mind. Bum 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 bum. Good, just creative planning while you play too. Nice. We're all just building together. Great, just finished a leather purse I was making. Nice. Yeah, I love watching streams in the background while I'm, you know, working on something else. Unbeaten pastime. Let's see. I should have a chandelier in here. So let's throw this in. Really relaxing seeing you building. Nice. I'm glad. Building some stuff on beta Flow SMP. Oh, what's Flow SMP? That sounds cool. Is it like parkour? Parkour SMP? I'm kind of dog shit at making chandeliers. So that's something I do need to improve on. Maybe we bust out a rare normal lantern. Usually use copper lanterns, but just doing some villager stuff. Making a red restore chiller for my gender chest. I don't know what those words mean. That sounds fun. A redstone chiller for my ender chest, maybe? Redstone filler? Refiller? Trying to decipher what the words mean. This chandelier looks so stupid. What in the switch into a little bit more of a rustic style. Oh, redstone shulker. Gotcha. Yes. I need to That's funny. Um I need to find a it's SMP by Flow State. Such a cool builder, but not cooler than you. Oh, I'm sure he's awesome. I'll have to check him out. Thank you though. I currently just have all this stuff, like all this stuff gets loaded into my storage stuff over here. I don't have them loaded into they get loaded in chests. I don't have stuff loading into shulkers, so I should probably invest in that soon. But one thing I do love that actually keeps me building like pretty fast, that is a lifesaver, is this. This is my like unloading bay. So when I'm done building something massive with a bunch of the resources I gathered, I just throw all the shulkers on here and they just all flow out into the system. So it's awesome, like a bulk unloading. Dyslexic as hell, guys. Sorry. Don't worry about it. It was funny. With your dyslexia and my ADHD, we both have one functioning brain. Do you like using hanging signs for chandeliers? Hey, Bars join. Everybody go check out Bars. Very cool builder. Same factory from yesterday. 3 Minigan. 2. Bar says hi. Yo, yo, yo. Look at all these whimsical little fellas. Where'd he go? There's Bars. Lots of funny guys. Serving absolutely no purpose other than my amusement. If you go down below, I have built the back rooms. What the Bars? Feels like it. Now, will I remember to wax these signs when I build in survival? The world may never know. Are you planning to open a Twitter account? Probably not. Just don't really use it. Use Twitter all that much. It's wild in there nowadays. You know, with all the shit that goes on. Look at it, look at Bars is Bars. It looks like you're planking. You were spread an eagle. It's funny. The little sound effects we have going on here is nice. Haha. Need different thing parts. Trying to make a chandelier. Struggling. See. Oop. Ooh. Let's see what you got going on today. Bars has been making humongous mountains, and they're freaking awesome. Had to watch. Weird, take off your suit. No! Never. Maybe someday. You'll see. One of these days. Is that my favorite wrinkly diver back again? Am I wrinkly under the suit? Do you know that for a fact? I don't even know the answer to this question. Oh, there's... Okay, nice. Yeah, it's a little awkward making this on 2 blocks because it's even. Even as well. Chandeliers mostly look good when they're odd numbers. What's the original red skin? I used to have a Spider-Man skin. Wait, is Bar still around here? I should show him my little frog. Let's see. Wait, Bars. Go in the brain. Look. Plankton. All hail Plankton. Took a proper listen to Moonlight today, and I love it so much. Great work on that. You gotta give him the 2 big levers. Yeah, maybe I should make them lightning rods. Because the 2 levers on this side are so small and pitiful. Yeah, took a proper listen to Moonlight today, and I love it so much, dude. Great work on that. Thanks. The songs are very fun. Very fun to make for you guys. I played a little sneak peek. Yeah, hard to say, but banger rev. Yeah, I need to actually look at the Thanks, my guy. You cooking food for real. Been enjoying your streams lately. Starting, I like this a little bit better, I'd say. I forgot if I answered or not, but the original skin was Spider-Man, like a Homecoming Spider-Man skin that I used for a while. But I got sick of it, and I like this Captain Cutler skin much better. So there will be some lore, perhaps, about what's under the suit. I'll make you wait. Such an addictive song. Thanks. Yeah, I called it Moonlight because in like Moonlight Sonata, there's like three parts to that song, or to that piece, I guess, track, whatever you want to call it. And in the third movement, has a crazy piano roll, and that was kind of what inspired. Obviously, like I kind of ripped it from that, but I decided to do it, or I decided to like use that because there's a guy named Ethan Bortnick. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him. He's like a TikTok guy, I think, or at least I found him on TikTok. And he's really good at piano, and he made like similar compositions with like the crazy piano roll style stuff. And thought it sounded so cool. So I had a little file of Moonlight on my on my laptop for like a really long time, and I like never touched it, and it sounded very different. But then for this video, I was like, you know what? I am going to finish it. So I did, and so I'm glad you guys like it. Oh yeah, I love Ethan, man. His piano stuff is so cool. Yeah, yeah. Ethan Bortnick's cool. I need to listen more of his stuff. I haven't listened to him in a while. But when I first found him, I was definitely very, very inspired. Right, let's see what the lighting looks like in here. Moody. There's gonna be daylight coming in, so this looks pretty good, I'd say. Ooh, I haven't heard this track. This sounds cool. You say you use movement for the piano. Oh, I meant like the third movement of Moonlight Sonata. I didn't necessarily rip it, but it's very similar. Like it's a similar like piano roll, of like how it's played. I just you know use different chords, but it kind of has the you know what I'm saying? Funny animated version of Moonlight Sonata called Sunlight Sonata that I love. Just a simple keychain, but awesome. Oh yeah, they put it in major maybe. Okay, this is. Oh, you know what? I need to move this over a block because it's not framed centrally. But I 1 second. 1 second. Must respond to my phone for a moment so people don't think I'm dead. And we will move the thing momentarily. Okay. Let's use Axiom. Axiom 2. Oh. Here we go. Move this way. Womp. Let's start. Ah, I thought you meant the plugin, my bad. Oh yeah, no worries. No worries. Are you a voice actor? No, I wish that. I always thought voice acting would be really fun, but I've just voice acted in stuff that I've made. I've never really tried to get on the grind of actually voice acting like as a career or anything because you know it's tough. Dealing with auditions and all that stuff. It's not something I envy. I have some friends who are actors and it doesn't sound very fun. uh Going from gig to gig that way and um but yeah, it would be super fun. Like that's why I kind of like voice acting just through my own stuff. 'Cause maybe eventually it'll give me opportunities to work on other people's fun projects. I think is a better, more holistic way to go about it than trying to do it as a career. At least for me. Everybody's different, but my 2 cents. How's that? Guys, what are we thinking about this chandelier? I'm iffy on it. I'm not convinced, but I also don't hate it. I love your voice acting and your voice. You sometimes sound like an old man, and sometimes you don't. Thanks. That's probably a you know side effect of me screaming a lot at my friends for funny bits and not realizing that I'm destroying my voice in the process and aging much faster than I should be. Maybe. What the heck? You're low-key building a portfolio through your videos. They're really good. Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Yeah. That's, that's the goal. Because also too, like, deciding to start making fun cinematic stuff in here is kind of like, I feel like so many people I know and like, so many of my friends, because we're all like struggling artists, film people, working jobs, odds and ends. We all got 9 to 5s that we don't necessarily love and all that. And it makes it really hard to get things, creative stuff done. Um, because yeah, a lot of short film stuff like costs a lot of money to make, especially if you're just kind of making a little indie short film. Even if it costs a few $100s, that's very cheap for a short film, but that's still a lot of money. And I really love how this has been going, just putting fun like short film making style stuff into Minecraft because it's free and I could just do it from home and I get my friends to uh see ya bars. Uh yeah, just have my friends voice act and everything. And yeah, it is much more fun. And it feels like we're making our own little opportunities to make fun stuff. Love the chandelier. Thanks. That's all I need. I'll move on because that's actually, I think maybe just going back to that. I'll leave it at that. I say as I keep trying to mess with it. Okay, that's fine. Um, what's your sandwich shop of choice, and what is your go-to sandwich build? Ooh, you know, I really love me just like a classic Italian sub. Um, with like the pepperoncinis and the olive oil. Maybe if you're feeling a little fancy, some sun-dried tomatoes if you're wanting to get a little crazy with it. Um, but yeah, just the onions and olive oil and all that stuff. It's that is I love me some sub sandwiches. Usually, honestly, out of laziness, I go to Jersey Mike's. um, because they are like good fast food and it's just like easy. I don't have to think about it. But whenever I do find a good sandwich shop, uh, it's always awesome. There used to be a good sandwich shop in my hometown. But I haven't gone in a long time. That because I haven't gone when I go visit home. So I need to find a good one up here in LA. If anybody has any, I live in Los Angeles, so if anybody has any sandwich shop recs on the west side, I would love to hear them. Yeah, it sounds like Bars is working hard on the next video, so you guys can look forward to that. Jersey Mike's my fave. Yeah, Jersey Mike's is very good. Very good. Pretty tough stairs. Do I even want to? Yeah, I think I want to add a lip here. Cobbled, cobbled stairs. Pretty nice. I'm thinking this is looking pretty nice. I don't even know what these are supposed to be. Why did I put these here? I feel like don't windows usually have a little bit of some maybe a pot? Put some pots here. This this looks like a Dark Souls, like just this, you know, kind of like a reminds me of Dark Souls 1 for some reason. So I'm gonna put some pots here as if I would roll into them. Should be nice. I put a pot in the pot. Let's hope the pots don't have weird flesh creatures inside of them. Well, you never know. You never know in this little universe I'm creating. I love this view when you walk up this way. Candles and small flower pots in the windowsill. Genius. Yeah, I'm kind of candle maxing right now. Don't mind me. I'll only light some of them. You know? That does look nice. Maybe I will make the pots more sporadic. Perhaps the dried gas come from the pots. Ooh. Okay. I should have one in here. Like he's flying away. Perfect. Perfect. So I think I'll save. I do want to have a little, like, part of the decorations that's like maybe a little stripping area. not a, you know, not in that way. The golems aren't going to be stripped in that way, but you know what I mean. When you like de-age the copper. I have this right here. I guess this is good enough. I mean, I'll probably have another conveyor belt that has something like this, but this little guy still moving. We dabble in lighting. We dabble. Nice. Okay. This is really starting to come together, I think. I'm getting close to being pretty satisfied. I do have to do some of this exterior wax maxing. A waxing station. Oh yeah, smart. We'll probably save because this is like, you know, the huge part. So I don't want to cram. I like all the detail we put in here. We're gonna have a lot more space to do stuff, but also I might fill this up most of the way with copper aging rafters and stuff. But that'll become later. Okay, what do I want to do here? Maybe it's time to pull the reference back out. Just so we can have a look-see at what this stuff kind of... Because it's very bare on this side, but I'll kind of maybe look at some of the texturing they have over here. Get some ideas. I do like this little area. So maybe... Just maybe... block out stuff like this. Let's see. 1, 2. How's something like this? Just me now. I'm all alone. Want them to be a little longer. A little bit taller. Down to there. Hmm. How's that? How's that going? Hmm. Don't know if I love it. Kinda. Hmm. I can't really move the wall in because there's stuff already already done the interior, maybe a little prematurely. You know what? What if you do this? This. And that. On up there. Hopper. Hopper. Anvil. And what's a little... do like a... No, you're not a chain. Maybe do a bar. A lantern. We can do something like... that? I like it. I'm liking it. Some sort of slab. Hmm. Maybe we're onto something. Oh, no. Goodbye, Anvil. Oh. Some chains. Hey, that's pretty nice. What are you thinking? What are you fellas thinking about how this is coming along? Maybe we finish the wall up this way. Have it... Try to be a little deliberate with the texturing. A little bit more of like a purlin pattern instead of just noise. When I can. We have... Looks cool. I like the anvil. Thanks. Yeah. A little funky getting this side of the build to work. Could be. Love the hanging lamp bit. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. It looks very Bloodborne-esque. I'd say. Yarnum style. Not to compare everything I freaking built to Dark Souls or Bloodborne. Let's see. Let us see. Real life mirrors Bloodborne, always. Exactly. Oh, this looks like Jenga. Little Jenga pieces mushed together. I'm not loving this bracing part of it. That hooks up there. You know what? Let's do this. Let's get a little bit of a... Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Deep slate. We're getting there. Maybe not totally in love yet. What about a little random balcony on this wall? True. Elden Ring Cities Core or something. Yeah. Elden Ring architecture is very, very cool. Very awesome. Balcony would be a good way to fill the space. Let's see. Very bland here. We have... Yeah, we have this. If I punch in here... Where is it? Okay. Maybe. And come out here. Have a little balcony here. Or some pipes that go outside. Big vent. Big vent on the side. Some pipes. They're all good ideas. Let's see. I do actually really like the idea of a big vent. Let's do, like, let's say we have something here. And then campfires. And we have grates on top. Head from the brain being vented outside. He's been thinking too much. Yeah, like there's like steam coming off of him. This looks a little funky because it doesn't go up. Boy. Maybe if we use this a little bit more like that. These are where the brain fumes are going. More vent for events god. Yeah, maybe there'll be some giant underground deity or monster. If I just make this like this. Ooh. That looks pretty sick. I'm happy with that little vent. That looks cool. There's a silhouette of this whole thing looking. Yeah. I can put some detail here because the silhouette's already kind of blocked out by the terraforming, I'd say. Big bent looking pipe. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I think I put one, you know, I'm gonna need little ideas like that Like this backside? Well, maybe because it's all going to be... Sure, I'm going to need space to put some big funky looking pipes. But maybe I can do... You know what I have up here? It's like a gear. These little gear sticking out. Honestly, I might copy and paste it. I might copy and paste. Have a little motif. In me world. I can also make a crimson one. Does that fuck up the silhouette too much? Maybe a little. Yeah. Actually, I don't want this one here. I want to put it on the backside. This might be, make some cogs to go with the big wheel. Facts. We replace the slabs with hoppers. Wait, that looks awesome because it's all built up here. If we do anvils. Oh, I think I like anvils. Anvils more. Yeah, that's nice. It'd be good to have darker blocks with where the gear connects, so it looks like it's going on the cliff more. That is also a good idea. I think here's what we'll do. We'll texture it a bit. Like there's like maybe a little bit of a shadow under it. Like it's kind of leaking or something. Yeah, I'll keep fiddling with it. I think that's starting to look pretty good. You know what's funny is like, so here's my like bedroom, right? I used to have this nice view, and now it's just gonna be wall. But it's all right because the view up here is even better. The view up at the head. It's gonna be so. I always get so excited to see what when I'm creative planning to see what it's gonna finally look and feel like to have this in the main survival world. Yeah, maybe replace blocks behind that cog with coal or something. I think I'll use mud. I like using mud. Like we can do like, yeah, that looks nice. Sweet. Right, I'll leave that for now. I think I can get away with texturing some of this a little differently. And then average apartment in New York, by the way. Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you have an apartment that looks this nice in New York for reasonable rent, I would be completely fine with having a shitty view. Yeah, NYC kind of better view. Oh, dropped another one. Speaking of cool balconies, I need to get on making an interior for here. We still haven't. There's still a lot up in here we need to finish. And like all this too. This is all empty. I have a really fun idea for this though. Not to get sidetracked, but I was reminded of this because there's some balconies over here, and I just don't really have a reason to like come hang out here. So maybe I'll have some little characters or something hanging out because it's a very cool place, like jutting out the side of this floating island. 'Cause this kind of goes into here, these interiors that aren't done. But I'm starting no more. I'm starting to finish my interiors when I build. So I'm trying not to build anything new without the interiors being done, which is why I'm, putting so much effort into this. But gas dock is a good idea. That is a really good idea. I kind of like it. I like having Trumpet just floating around. Because I feel like it adds a little bit of life to the world, but I do perhaps want to get, if I get more happy gas, maybe I have one that's just kind of docked here and hanging out. Or maybe there's like, what if there's like some sort of villager something vendor hanging out here? Maybe another character. I might need to it would be a fun little guy. You think I could trap a warden? And have him up here. Oh wait, why did I spawn one? Isn't it gonna be impossible to kill? Alright, hold on. Oh, you can't lead them. Well, he's just gonna be roaming around now. Oh, wait, maybe oh, let's see how long it takes to kill one. He's wheezing. It would be really cool to be able to trap a warden, but I know they'll make everything dark. So maybe that'll have to be a place where it's intentional. I've never really messed around with ancient cities yet. All right, we'll leave this little guy here. I think he's just gonna walk around. But what I do want to do is in here, in this little like observatory style room, I want to get a sniffer and have him in here. And then, this is like the highest little point of this floating island. Like obviously this goes taller. Oh shit. I want to capture a phantom. I've never really seen anybody do that or try to do it. I want to capture a phantom and keep him in a little cage up here. I think that'd be cool. Why did I spawn this guy in here? What am I doing? Oh, is he attacking the sniffer? Leave him alone. We don't have tick enabled. This is so stupid. Let's... So nothing will catch on fire. Fixing my own problems. God dang it. He's lava proof. Fucking Christ. What's your favorite Minecraft block? I've been loving Chiseled Tough lately. There we go. Thank God. Yeah, I've been loving Chiseled Tough. Frog lights? Frog lights have been huge. Doesn't moss burn? Yeah, we don't have tick. We don't have tick enabled. So it's fine. Nothing will catch on fire. Used to have a sword saved in my creative toolbars that did near infinite damage just in case I spawn mobs that I didn't want. That's smart. Fortunately, I don't got anything like that. Mysterious wizard of the tower that overlooks the realm from the balcony. Yes. Maybe that will be the little character. But anyways. So that's hopefully I'll be able to Get some cool stuff in there soon. But so far, I have this storage unit, and then I have some I have like my moss farm, and in my survival world I have like a mud farm right here, like a mud making thing. Oh yeah, here's some spoilers. Some stuff I'm working on down inside this cave. I love putting islands with caves, and then caves down below, and then another island on top of an island with a mountain, and then caves inside of it, all floating but underground. Very fun. Very fun. But yes, all future projects. For now, we focus on these little guys. He's got a little wave. Infinitely high city will break the limit. Yeah, luckily I haven't had a desire to expand the world height, because I do want to make sure that everything is filled with fun stuff. But maybe eventually we will and keep building up. Because on top of this floating island, we still have a lot of room to make like a city up there. Whenever I decide to make an episode where we are actually finishing, because obviously in the survival world it's actually a full like blob. That's gonna be a tough episode because that is gonna be a humongous build. So it might take a while, but I'll probably live stream the whole thing so you guys can at least have some stuff to see. Oh. This looks like a guy with an underbite. I don't know why these look like eyes. Oh, it's a little lopsided, isn't it? That's why it looks funny. Let's see. Make that line up. Okay, now that's symmetrical. Just take it in chunks so you don't burn out. Yeah, exactly. I just think you know, take it in chunks. It would just take a long time to get the video done. The only thing I'd be worried about. So committing to it might mean that there's a pretty big gap in between uploads. But once the time comes, the time's gonna come, because I want that thing to be done. Because it's just a big, you know, kind of boring gray blob floating in the air. I've had it there for so long too. I made that drown farm like years ago. I was like, I'm gonna make something cool here. But I never did. But one of these days. And if I live stream, it's not like I'm going away, going dark on you. You'll still see the process. Now I'm starting to think about, I don't know if I love this frame being here. Yeah, kind of like it opened up a little bit. And I also am looking at this back here, and I think the more I sit with it, the more I don't like these trapdoors. Yeah, that looks better. I'd say. Maybe. Oh, wait, not like that. Like this. The videos are great. We can wait. It's worth it. Thank you. I appreciate that. When it does, when that video does come out, one of these days, it will be an absolute banger. Yeah, it's really starting to come together. I do say so myself. I wonder what I should do with these little sections, though. They're not... It's a little boring here. Do I even want paintings in here is the question. I don't think a factory would have paintings. But maybe not. Maybe the paintings can be kind of like graffiti or something. That is a good idea. I think Bars did something. He has like a cool nether hub, and I think he has like graffiti that he did somehow in there. Maybe I'll check out what he did. See if I can't replicate it. Nice, managed to catch the stream. Glad to have you in here. Just chilling, building some stuff. If you haven't seen, massive, funky little factory, little guy with a brain. Within the brain, plankton. Oh, speaking of that, it's actually plankton in SpongeBob's brain. What does it actually look like? Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm saving it. Let's add to our reference board here. Okay. Now, there's a little bit to be desired here in terms of how big the levers are. So let's use a lightning rod. If I use a daylight sensor, can the frog get out? Yes. God dang it. Alright, everybody look away. I didn't do that. What are you talking about? That's crazy. Love the Froglight Factory vid. Amazing work. Thanks! Yeah, I really love making that episode. That was super fun. These look more like big levers. What's a block that has like... You see how he has like the levers are in slits? Is there any block that... I mean, like, maybe this? Let's see. Let us see. Oh, smokers. Yeah, that could be cool. Awesome. Awesome. He doesn't have his big red button. Maybe he needs a mangrove button. All right, well, we'll leave him at that for now. Unfortunately, folks, I'm gonna have to end stream. I have some plans that I have to tend to. Thank you so much for joining us, though, guys. A lot of epic chatters in here today. I had a ton of fun. We made a lot of progress. Scared of Plankton, please remove him. There you go. I removed him for you. But yeah, you know what? I'll play you off. Let's play where the frick is it? Where the heck? I want to pull up put the frog back on. Here's a little. Can I make him? How do I change the text? Edit. Can I? Is it? Oh, hold on. New text. New text. Thanks for watching. Danske for watching. Have a good day. I am going to now play us off with that little sneak peek of the next Ooze track that I played earlier. So if you didn't catch that then, it's a very rough little instrumental. So thanks! See you guys. Have a good one.